In trouble, Haley Eckerman, who was ripping that jump spin serve.
Eckerman, first team All-American. She can touch 10 feet 2 inches, so she's above the rim and about 3 feet above this volleyball net. And Irwin gets the first swing again, slowed down by the block. Here's Bailey Webster pounding it. Toon trying to come around the outside of the net, which is legal as long as you bring it back around the outside of the antenna to your side of the court.
But another hit right over the block. Michigan could not control it, and it allows Eckerman to go and take another rip at it. She's got the green light when she has a good toss. That one not so good. She does a good job of keeping it in, and still trouble for Michigan.
It gets them a bit out of system, and Irwin able to tip it and get it down.
You could hear Coach Elliott screaming, and he's clapping his hands. He was not happy that his team didn't read that roll shot well enough when clearly Irwin did not have a good swing at that. But we talked about in set number one, the player who's struggling the most is getting all the swings. You've got to figure out ways to get everybody, other people involved in the Michigan offense.
Down the line, Dalton had to swing for it. Webster again able to get it over the block. Good defense by the Wolverines, and there's Molly Toon, the junior from Middleton, Wisconsin, with the kill.
Well, we've been talking about those left sides, and just look at how high this ball is going over the block of Michigan. They have to figure out ways to adjust their defense and cover that space. They haven't had to dig what they call over the block all season long.
And the chance there for Michigan created with the strong serve from Lexi Dannemiller to set that up. And she's back once again. She had 4 aces in the regional final. Gets one there.
That was a rocket of a serve. Dannemiller, we saw her get the cross-court ace before. Texas is trying to pass with just 2. That's a lot of space for McNeil and the libero, Palmer, to cover. Not a very good pass there. Michigan with the back.
Good coverage, and then the middle, Crystal and Good misfires on it. Point Texas. That ends a 4-0 run for the Wolverines. Campbell back to serve. Dannemiller sliding behind is McElhenney. Here goes Webster up again, and stuffed that time.
But she had the height. She just dragged it down into the block. I like that set by McNeil. That was pretty from an opposite, but Webster had the height advantage. She just dragged it down. What you have to do is not hit sharply down to the floor, but hit flat, hit deeper in the court.
That was McElhenney with the block. Here's Allison trying to set up Bailey again. Has to tip it. Rolling in to get it, Dannemiller. As Irwin gets blocked. Back outside to Lexi against the double. And missed it long.
Ooh, I thought that one was in. That was right in front of us. Irwin
negative hitting.
Just trying to, had she hit that one in, she would have worked her way back to positive.
Gets another swing, dug up by Palmer. Webster way over, a good foot over the block that time. And gets it deep.
That's the deep hit that I'm talking about. Watch how she goes right up and over and between, over the block and between defenders. Very difficult. Michigan has no answer except when she hits down into their block.
Webster backs it back down. Free ball, Texas. McNeil into the net. Point Michigan. How about Webster and her 8 kills already in the match?
Let's take a look again at that elevation of Bailey Webster going right over the top of the block. Michigan, no answer there.
She touches 11 feet, according to the coaches.
Yeah.
That's Destiny Hooker. air, rarefied air up that high. Hooker, a member of the U.S. Olympic team.
And she's worked her way up to touching 10, 11 and a half.
We rounded up for her.
Almost a foot above the basket, or a foot above the basket. But she said, I've never tried to dunk. Really? With that kind of hops? At least try it once. Come on.
I'd start my day every day with a dunk.
Right out of bed. Just straight there.
Keep a rim in my room.
Nicely blocked by Texas. They obviously have Jared Elliott and his staff doing a tremendous job of keeping his team ready for the Michigan offense.
Nice diving play out of the back row again. But this is what Michigan has been able to do late in the season and into the NCAA tournament. Just kind of scrappy, kind of hanging around, finding ways to make plays.
And if they can figure out a way to hang around, they could steal this second set after getting outplayed most of the match.
Ackerman, big swing. Bumps it to Allison. McNeil up against one blocker, and that was a mismatch.
That's one of the reasons they love McNeil, because she spreads the defense out. Watch her come with this layup approach off one leg. There's only one blocker in front of her. A very good middle blocker for Michigan. Jen Cross had no time to get there. One-on-one hitter should win a lot.
Down low, looking to Irwin. That time she does get the touch. Lexi trying to bounce back. It was interesting talking to her. Not only does Michigan have a strength coach, but they had a mental strength coach this year that Irwin used extensively, and it was when she decided she wanted to come out of the shadows and actually verbalize her goals. I want to be the best. I want to guide us to a national championship. That she actually had to start backing up her words, Karch, and that has really made her play much better.
She sure has. And one of the things they talked about, a little thing, was slow the game down when it's not going well. And maybe even if the ball falls on your side of the net and you lost. Here, Dana Miller getting too aggressive. But what they'll do is they'll hang on to the ball and roll it slowly, give themselves a chance to slow the game down. That would be warranted, especially in that first set. Not a good pass there. Michigan in trouble.
That's going to help Texas. Allison looking to Bell, and a misfire on the set to Bell that time.
Yeah, the reason I don't like that choice is because it wasn't a great pass, and Hannah Allison was the setter, number 12 for Texas, running all over. Just couldn't make a good connection on that play. But maybe she gets a better pass here. Setters like to get the ball back to their hitter if they miss the first time.
Haley Ackerman, the Big 12 Player of the Year. Bailey Webster was the Conference Player of the Year last season. And there's Ackerman again, using their size to get up and over the defense.
We got to keep a new stat tonight, the OT, over the top stat. There's got to be, we're in double digits, I think. They're going to have the triple double here.
Think Kareem Skyhook. He's up higher than any of the defenders, and you can't stop it as long as Texas is making that contact at such a high point.
And hitting deep and flat. Dana Miller cleaning it up there. The last time she tried that, she dragged her left arm into the net, feeling the pressure of trying to score points for her team when it's quite difficult. But they do have the 1-point lead, and she's been effective at the service line.
For those of you too young to remember Kareem, think Brittany Griner and the defenders with their hands full trying to stop somebody up at 10 or 11 feet. Even at 10 here in the second, Texas cruised in the first, much different as Michigan has settled down a little bit. Dana Miller sliding behind, and good. It wasn't textbook, but you'll take it.
Those are sometimes the best kind, and they count just as much. A mishit. She swung across the ball and just barely made contact. But those are often difficult to defend, difficult to read, kill, and point Michigan.
Just a freshman with a very bright future as Allison reads the D well and dumps for the point.
She saw no blocker hands in front of her, and the middle number 12 for Michigan, Good, was not prepared for that.
This is the setter, Hannah Allison. Jared Elliott calls her one of the most underappreciated players in the country As Michigan gets a point back.
Yep.
She also has probably one of the best jobs in the country, getting to serve it up and set it up for the hitters that she's got.
To have that pair of left sides, but you're right. Coach Elliott says she deserves more recognition. And she's gotten a lot better at realizing where the good swings are going to come from and making good decisions. That's part of, and there's another nice decision, getting her hitter a one-on-one. That's part of the job description of any setter. First of all, you got to give the right speed and the right location for each of your hitters. They're all a little different, but you also have to make the right choice. Which hitter do I go to? And the height of the set, right, Coach? Because exactly.
you've got to get it up there to 11 feet for them to hit it up there at 11 feet.
And you could see a set like that is much faster. Michigan runs a faster offense to their left side than Texas does, where they just set it up high and let them go over.
Jennifer Cross, the junior, and also a member of the Canadian national team, gets the kill. She spent the summer with Team Canada, and former Nebraska legend Sarah Pavin, and really improved her game watching Sarah on a daily basis.
Who won this tournament in 2006 with Nebraska.
Off the block and out, point Michigan.
Yeah, Coach Rosen calls her a tape fiend. She just loves watched all the Olympic matches and dreams of representing Canada and helping them garner a berth at some point in the future.
He says she is old school, loves talking about the game and watching other people play the game and watching her team on tape. Number 2 in blue, and she'll get another swing here. May have been out, but Michigan will play on it. Free ball. Dana Miller. Irwin. A potent swing. Just as they did in the region final against Stanford. Dropping the first set, no problem. Michigan